Okay, so my personal health story and how I came to give up sugar. Um, let's see. I've always been health minded. My parents were healthy. We had a garden growing up. Um, and so it wasn't like I was trying to be unhealthy, but somehow there's this way in the US and more globally where there's processed foods on the shelf that seem like food and then they're not quite food. Um, life gets really busy and fast and maybe I wasn't, after a while I was eating, not taking the best care of what I was eating, maybe just eating whatever was available, maybe not taking care of to always exercise. Just a lot of different factors that make it really difficult for us to have our best health. And let's see, I read Tim Ferriss's book, The 4 Hour Body, where he does a lot of different experiments on himself to find his best health. That was a huge inspiration to me. I decided I wanted to do the same thing. So I tried all the different ways. I tried ketogenic, which is eating high fat, and bulletproof. I tried paleo. I tried, lots of different like weightlifting. Um, what else have I tried? Vegan, vegetarian. I now eat vegetarian, sometimes fish. I tried all the different ways. I tried like super, super fast crash diets, like, lose 5 to 10 pounds a week. I tried everything. And nothing really stuck. I'd lose a lot of weight and then I'd put it back on and then I'd lose it and then I'd put it back on. And what I started to realize was that any change that I made, if it wasn't permanent, it didn't count, right? I could do a 7-day detox, but what about the other 51 weeks of the year? Then what? Then I can't have those benefits from 7 days if I don't keep it up, right? Or like if I do even like a 30-day detox, but then I go back to eating the way I was eating, then that's 11 months of bad eating, right? With just 1 month of good eating. So every change has to be permanent, okay? Otherwise it doesn't count. So right, that we're made up of our daily habits, and our habits in the moment, moment by moment. So that was a huge shift for me. And I watched a video of Gabrielle Bernstein, the inspirational motivational speaker, who said that she quit sugar. And I was like, you can just quit sugar? I want to do it. And it seemed impossible. I was so addicted to sugar. It was fall of 2015, and I just started a new job and it was stressful. And when I got really stressed, I would go to Trader Joe's and buy a box of cookies, and I could eat like almost the whole thing, just right then and there. And it was just, this stress reaction. And then I would try and like work out a lot to like burn that off. Very stressful. And so I thought, wow, quitting sugar sounds impossible. So I want to do it. I want to try it. And it's definitely been the most rewarding health change I've ever made, because it was like my final addiction. I struggled with hard drug addiction in my teenage years. I ended up going to rehab when I was 20 years old for my addiction to methamphetamine. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot in rehab, a lot of great tools. Exercise, the value of human connection, reaching out to friends when we're struggling. And that, yoga, meditation, this was all because of going to rehab when I was 20, which was, so great to learn those tools so early on. But sugar was like my last addiction, my last thing that I was using to fill the void, my inner void. So taking out sugar, I had to do some really big work in my life. It's now been, about 2 years that I've been sugar-free, and these have been the most transformative years of my life because I've had to deeply look at what addiction means to me and what is it that I'm trying to fill when I'm shoveling food into my face, or having too much alcohol to drink, or any addictive behavior, spending too much time on Facebook. So, what am I trying to get out of this? How can I slow down? How can I live with more presence and more mindfulness? So, quitting sugar was really the start of that for me. And And it was really hard for about the first 10 weeks. It took a lot of effort, a lot of checking in, um, and then it just kept getting easier and easier, because when you quit sugar, you feel so good. Like I just felt so alive, awake, energized. That 3 p.m. slump has disappeared. I think I thought I was supposed to be foggy headed like my whole life. I didn't know how good it was possible to feel. I'm not cranky anymore, and people notice a difference. My friends say to me, you're not as judgmental as you used to be, or like, wow, you're so patient, you're so kind, you're so, it really started with giving up sugar, because it would make me agitated, stressed out. I would be thinking about it all the time. When am I going to eat next? It was just up and down. And that just didn't make me a very good person. So giving up sugar, it's like, it becomes easier over time, because it feels good to feel good, And so I'm so happy to be teaching this program to others, because it's made such a huge difference in my life. I can't imagine going back to eating sugar. I really can't. I feel so much freedom, so much lighter, so much more able to tackle athletic challenges. I've just started training and running again. I do yoga almost every day. I've freed up time and space. I'm not thinking about it all the time. Just so many benefits. My weight has really stabilized. It used to go up and down and up and down, and it doesn't do that anymore at all. Just so many benefits. And so that's my story, and I hope that it inspires some of you to just try it. I think that we can get maybe a little bored with our lives if we aren't trying difficult things, and that's what I try to live by. What can I do that challenges myself? How can I grow as a person? And you will find out a lot about yourself when you give up sugar, right? Because how we relate to food that's how we relate to the world. That's, it's everything. Food is our nourishment, right? Food is what gives us life. So this program is going to help you start looking at your relationship with yourself, with others, with how you show up in life, what kinds of attitude, how do you wake up in the morning? How do you feel about your day? This program is going to help you look at all that, and hopefully get you much more excited about life, so that we maybe can stop obsessing so much about food, and instead choose foods that are healthy and nourishing and making us feel our best. So thank you, and I hope you'll join.